Money 101 with Bob McCormick, featuring the Wall Street Journal, the place to manage your money and your life. And now, here's Bob McCormick.
And good Monday to you. We're here on Money 101 to talk about two of the most important things, love and money. And let me tell you that the two are intertwined and affect so many other things, including the job, how good you are on the job, how happy you are. Man, why do people want to work at Apple stores? You'll find out. Why they'll take that $25,000 and go on for years, even though they've got a college graduate, and they are primed for other work. What about the marriage that gets involved with one spouse losing a job? And you single ladies, would you date somebody unemployed? Yes, the roller coaster economy has reached deep into our personal lives, leaving no aspect unaffected, and that's why every day we're talking here this week about love, sex, and money, and we got the people here that are going to help you secure your financial future, help you lead a healthier, more satisfying life, and who knows, maybe help you score.
I've been really trying, baby, trying to hold back this feeling for so long.
Money 101, Bob McCormick here, and I don't know, I love Mad Men. You know, the way they come up with the themes to throw at us. What has changed from the 50s and the 60s to now? Much at all? I don't know. Let's find out. My first guest is USC Professor of Marketing, Ira Kalb, who joins us. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, Professor, these spots that I'm seeing today, I'm telling you, they leave nothing to the imagination. What's the hamburger spot with the girls on the back seat of the car?
Right. Yeah, there really is
cool.
nothing to the imagination. They're showing almost everything.
And does it help? Is that selling product?
It helps if you're selling products related to sex. If you're selling products not related to sex, it doesn't work. In fact, sometimes it backfires.
Well, going back in the whole history of advertising and marketing, when did sex become the big factor, a motivating factor?
Well, it's always been motivating. It gets people's attention back to caveman days. I mean, it wired in your reptilian brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always been used in advertising.
Well, so the idea is that this makes you more sexy, whatever it is. I mean, I don't know how a hamburger is supposed to make you sexy, but the perfume and the clothing and the way you look and the attitude that you exude can definitely lead to success. They're saying in the business world and your personal life.
Definitely, if it's related to sex or attractiveness, it will work. People believe that a product is going to make them more attractive. They maybe will get the job.
We'll give you an example of sex in selling that has worked.
Sex and selling that's worked? Well, if you're using perfume ads or swimsuit ads, or I remember back in the 50s and 60s when they were doing chic shaving ads, and I don't know if you remember the line, take it off, take it all off.
Yeah.
And then they had the woman stroking the man's face, and it was very suggestive. They didn't show as much as they do today, but they still use sex in the advertising.
Okay, so a lot of women complain that because the women are shown in such sexual poses and, of course, are always either buxom or thin or just model-type figures, that this is the image that they feel that they've got to portray in society, or they're going to be a loser.
Well, yeah. First of all, some women are going to repel against these types of ads. But if you keep seeing these images of thin, very good-looking women, it programs people's brains, and it's caused women to be anorexic and all sorts of other problems.
Well, let's talk about the guys. Okay. I mean, I haven't seen a beer commercial yet. They didn't want me wanting a beer, although I know what it does to my stomach, so I try to stay away from it. But these guys are always tantamount to having fun.
Exactly. Yeah, well, the beer is also associated with sex. You're showing people drinking beer on the beach. You're showing attractive models. You're showing people having fun. And,
Well, how does that affect, though, our life, our relationship, for example, of the notion that, a six-pack is going to get you laid that night?
Well, I don't know if it does. The thing is that advertising works for sure if it communicates a benefit to the buyer of the product. And if the benefit is the benefit they're looking for, then it will work.
Whether or not they get the benefit or not, will they keep doing it, though?
Exactly.
Will they keep doing it? That's the question. If it doesn't work, if they're still Loserville and the woman won't give him a second glance, no matter how many beers he offers her.
Right. Well, that's the difference between the advertising, what really happens in real life. Mm-hmm. And advertisers, unfortunately, don't measure if their ads are working the way they should. They really don't take it the full step and say, does it work or not? Because an ad agency is doing the ad, and they typically just sell the client on hiring them again.
Well, let's talk about those billboards. I saw a great billboard out in La Brea, and it's all about what makes you live longer and enjoy life. Just had a pair of swimming goggles, and it says, movement is the best medicine. Now that, just those words, that image, that message to me it rings true for me. I believe in that, and I do that. I swim all the time, and I love the way I feel. But what can you do in just a few words to make someone feel like they're going to be sexy, wanted by the opposite sex, or just simply someone you want to have in the office, so you want to hire that person?
Well, if you're talking about the ads that work, the sexy ads that work, or they show somebody looking attractive, and they show somebody as going to be able to get the job, and somebody that's going to be able to do whatever they want to do, whatever they have in their mind. They use imagery that gets people to associate what they want with the product.
Now, there's like 3.5 million Americans right now between the ages of 45 and 64 who are unemployed. Over a third of them have been out of work for a year or more. These people, are desperate to have people like them,
right.
Obviously, to improve their image.
Right.
They're probably going to be misled into thinking that something that a product can do for you, or even a service, come on, even Viagra, which
right.
Does what it says it does.
Yeah, well, one size doesn't fit all. Some of these ads work and some of them don't. And the ads that work are the ones that really do have the benefit they're advertising. And the ads that don't work are they're associating sex with something that is not associated with sex. And then people don't get the benefit, and they're not going to buy the product again.
All right, USC Professor of Marketing Ira Kalb is with us. I'm Bob McCormick on Money 101. Still to come, looking your best could win you that job interview or maybe that first date. How do you do it on a budget? And we do have jobs posted in L.A. today. In the entertainment industry, 20th Century Television looking for residuals clerks. CBS TV looking for an executive assistant to the VP of sales. We got more media companies. Fox Entertainment looking for executive assistants. And CBS Feature Films looking for theatrical distribution cashiers. Walt Disney Company looking for learning and developing associates. Got jobs? I know a lot of people need them here in SoCal. Coming up, how looking your best can help you in the market. And at 9:35, tips from a pro on how to look and the image you project when Laura Ann Robinson joins us, Los Angeles professional image consultant. I'm Bob McCormick. We got you covered. Love, Money, and Sex on KFWB. I'm Bob McCormick on News Talk 980. It's Money 101, KFWB News Talk 980. I'm Bob McCormick on Love, Sex, and Money Week. You'll believe how many people will work at an Apple store. The pay averages $25,000, and these are college graduates who stay for anywhere from 2 to 6 years, although the tenure has gotten a little shorter because they're under so much stress. I don't know if you walked in there, but you know how many people are in an Apple store. Have you ever seen one empty? No, of course not. And these college grads are making less, for example, than they would if they worked at Costco. But of course, need I say more? What's sexier, working at Costco or working at Apple. And having a law degree these days may not be the ticket to a six-figure income. Patrice Sikora joins us from the Wall Street Journal. What's up with the law grads this summer?
Oh, man, Bob, it's a rough time for them out there. This is a Wall Street Journal analysis that finds that the folks who graduated in 2011, just last year, with a law degree, only 55% have the chance of getting a job as a lawyer within 9 months of getting that degree. Compare that with 78% for a placement rate for MBAs. So which degree would you rather have?
Yeah.
Yep, they are under pressure. Disgruntled graduates and some professors have been pressing the American Bar Association to release these stats so people understand what's going on here. You got to understand a lot of people who get law degrees, maybe it's just to advance their career. They don't intend to practice law, but there are a lot of them in there who do, and 55% is not a good number.
And the schools, not just the law schools, are under more pressure to show the ROI. What is the return on investment going to be for this very expensive education? Well, we're getting an expensive lesson in the world economy, of course. Today I see the Greek foreign finance minister is resigning, and
well, he's got such health issues right now, too. Mm-hmm. The prime minister had health issues. The finance minister has them. And both of them, neither of them are going to be able to make the European summit on Thursday and Friday. Actually, Greece is going to be represented by their foreign minister now, who does not have much experience in the world of economics. So that's going to be interesting. And
one reason the stock market has taken a dive today.
Yes, that's we're all looking ahead to that meeting later this week. And right now the Dow Industrials are down almost 160 points, 12,480. The Nasdaq's a 1.25% drop. The Nasdaq down 57 points, almost 2% here. S&P 500 down 23. That's a 1.75% decline.
Gold and the dollar a little bit higher on all of this here today. Okay.
Oil down though again.
Yeah, at 384 on average, and we're going to find the lowest gas prices, but we're like 15 cents below where we were a week ago in Los Angeles. So that's
amazing.
That's some good news. At least it helps some couples who are trying to make the budget. Thank you, Patrice Sikora. More on love, sex, money, and Jill Schlesinger of CBS Money Watch weighs in. Hey, Jill, from what you've seen, and I know you used to be a personal finance coach, what are the biggest challenges that couples have over money?
Well, I'll tell you, in my experience in 14 years of giving financial advice to individuals, the biggest problem about money comes down to the oldest reason in the book that people get divorced. They don't communicate. So it could be about money. It could be about how much you hate someone's mother-in-law. It could be about sex. But if you don't talk about it, it festers, and it's a big problem. So what I think is really important is to talk about it, to talk about what each of your goals are, to come clean about anything that's going on. You know, no secrets. We know about financial infidelity all over the place. If you really limit those things and you start talking about what both of you want, you can have a constructive conversation, help delineate your goals, and then you get there.
Okay, well, it sounds all well and good. You think you need sometimes a third party like a counselor or a financial planner?
I think that it's good to have a financial planner, be that person, or an accountant, and to be able to say, look, here are the things each of you want to do. There's so many times in my career where I said, it sounds like he wants to do this, it sounds like she wants to do this, here's how we're going to make this all happen and make it happy. And it's almost like we can find the solution that will satisfy both and make both a little bit angry, but you're both going to give and sign on to it. And if you both agree to it, you will really avoid a lot of future conflict.
Tell us about the retirement savings and what couples can do to either get the money for college for their kids without jeopardizing their own retirement nest egg, and at the same time be able to enjoy life while they're living life as a family.
I think it's a really important concept to say, if we create a plan, we are not creating an austerity plan for the next 30 years. That you've got to create a plan that really lines up your priorities. And I think it really does make sense that people have to put their own retirement needs before college because, you know, for college there are a lot of other choices. You can say, I'm going to choose a less expensive option for college. I'm going to get some loans and grants. I'm going to work. I'm going to do a lot of different things. For retirement, you know, there's no plus family loan for retirement. So it really has to come first. And frankly, it doesn't make a lot of sense from my point of view to really minimize the retirement need and put the kids first. There's not a really great payoff for that because your kids are going to end up taking care of you anyway if you don't save save enough.
Especially if they're going for a law degree, as we just found out. USC professor of marketing Ira Kalb is also with us. You teach people who are going to be in the advertising and the marketing business whose job is going to be to sell us stuff. So what is the takeaway? I mean, what do you tell them? What is their secret? What is their path to success?
Well, the path to success is to find out what the person you're selling to wants, and you give it to them, and you communicate to them. The previous person mentioned communication, and communication is very important. Not only do you have to have the benefit, but you have to be able to communicate it in a concise way so that they're going to hire you.
I've always heard, the shorter number of words you use, the more powerful it is.
Well, yeah. People don't want to find the needle in the haystack. You want to say it in a way that's going to get in their brain. And nowadays, you have to talk in slogans and sound bites to get. Not only do you have to say it concisely, but you have to say the right words in the right way.
Okay, so someone who is out there pounding the pavement looking for one of these jobs that we talked about, and they know that they've got to be with it. They got to be stylish. They're looking at these ads, or they're looking at the way the models
right.
or the stars are looking and dressing, or the people on television. Does that necessarily mean they got to look like that?
Well, not necessarily. They need to look like the people that are going to hire them. They need to do their research, and they need to check out what does that company want. If you used to walk into Steve Jobs' office with a coat and tie, he would kick you out because he wanted you to be dressed casually. So it really depends on what the person that's hiring you wants.
Okay, so you're saying, well, you don't know what that guy looks like until you walk into the office, though.
Well, you can do research. You can talk to his secretary. You can say what is his favorite color. And if you're wearing the color that he's wearing, you're in.
Coming up, when two people in the marriage, one is looking for a job, the other one's got to support him or her when they come home and they are feeling down, when they're feeling, you turn to television because it's an escape.
Right.
And it's perfectly legitimate to say, hey, I need to be able to tone down. I need to be able to relax and get what happened today out of my head. And then you're bombarded with all this stuff that tells you a little bit more about your shortcomings. How does good advertising affect a person's subconscious thoughts?
Well, what it does, good advertising drums the message, the benefit of the product in someone's brain. And what happens is the way the brain works is you've got these things in your brain that get you to remember things. And if you remember the benefit, then you're going to more likely buy the product. And your brain's wired so that you don't remember everything because it would drive you crazy. So you need to use repetition of that benefit so people remember it. When they go to the store and they're looking at it on the shelf, they need to be able to remember to buy that product and why they're going to buy that one versus the other one.
All right. Do you have to say to yourself, hold it, I'm not going to be sucked into this?
It's not a question of being sucked in. If you're sucked in, you'll buy it once, but you're not going to buy it again. Yeah, so the product has to deliver on the promise of the advertising. If it doesn't deliver, you're not going to buy it again.
All right. Listen, I'll tell you, I get kind of perplexed a little bit when I'm watching ads. I'm not quite exactly sure how I'm supposed to respond sometimes, especially when it's a girl eating a burger that looks like she's having sex at the same time.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
You forget what the ad is. You forget what the ad is for.
Exactly, and those are the types of ads that don't work. If they're not related to the benefit, it's not going to work.
Got some jobs in Orange County that have just opened up. Morgan Stanley looking for client service associates. Olive Garden looking for a whole host of people, from hosts to bartenders, to prep team members to servers. Bank of the West and OC looking for customer service reps. J.C. Penney looking for consultants. Sales professionals are in big demand at most of the banks and the mortgage companies. I'm Bob McCormick on Money 101, how to tone the look. And to look not just the best for your spouse or the boyfriend or girlfriend, but when you walk into that hiring manager's office, what are the ways someone can update their wardrobe without spending a lot of money? Lori Ann Robinson, the founder of LAR Consultants, will be with us. Los Angeles professional image consultant. Some free advice for you on Money 101. I'm Bob McCormick.